Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Now look what I've been making. I'm going to pick this up and show you this stitch. Look at that stitch. You need to see it from the side like this. It's a really deep set stitch. It's the same on both sides. I'll turn it that way. Hopefully you can see it more that way. Look at that. Look at that. It's really, really pretty. Now, I've got this amount of yarn still to use on this inner square of this blanket, and I'm going to show you what it is. I got, I got all of this sent to me. This is the yarn that I'm using, this one here. There were 6 great big balls in this. And this is a So Crafty brand. It's a Aldi yarn. It's from Aldi's. And this one is called Mardi Gras. And it's a rainbow yarn. There's 200 grams in each one of these. Now there's this one. This one is really, really soft. This one is called a Ombre Yarn. And it's a Sundance. There's 200 grams in that as well. And there is a knitted pattern in behind there on that one. This one, it's knitted again. It's a cable knit pattern with that. So I got this. I'm going to come up just a little bit. I got this from a friend called Sharon Jones, and Sharon sent me quite a few donations of yarn, and she sent me these. So I'll put that one back in there just now. This is absolutely amazing. Now, I did video this, I did video it as a Happy Meal, but when my webcam broke, it wiped the videos that I hadn't edited, and when I deleted the software to try and put it back in again, it deleted the videos that were still inside the program. So unfortunately, I didn't get to do this as a Happy Meal, but it is a Happy Meal. It's wonderful. This she got it sent to me from Aldi's. I'll pop that aside, and I'm going to show you how to do this really deep stitch. Now this is an amazing stitch for speed. It's a really quick blanket. If you need a blanket made in a hurry, now look at this. This has only taken me a few hours to do this. I'm using a 8mm crochet hook. Now I don't have one of the nice shaped hooks like this. I don't have one this size in a 8mm. So I'm having to go back to using this style of crochet hook for this blanket. So once I've got my inner square done, I'll show you how to do the border like I did on that other one. I'll pop that aside just now. So I'm going to use this to show you how to demonstrate that stitch. I'll just pop that back up there on the side. So I'm going to use a smaller hook. Now this is an Addy Swift Max crochet hook. And look at the shape of this. This is brilliant if you've got any dexterity problems, if you've got any problems with arthritis. I've been using this for about a week and a half now, this shape of hooks. They are a little bit expensive buying them one at a time. So that's all I've been doing. I've just been maybe buying one a week or one every, maybe 2 at the end of the month. That's what I'll be doing with these. This is a 4mm hook. Now this is the Addy Swift Max because it's got a longer shaft on it. I've got another one and the shaft is smaller, but if you're going to get these to try them, get one that's a popular size, maybe like a 4.5 or a 5, whatever you use the most often to try it. They are about £7 each. I got mine from Lovecrafts and they are an investment, but I really like them because it just fits into your hand like this. Now, the way you hold it is the way you would hold a spoon if you were a child and scooping up some of your dinner. the smaller Addy Swift, this is a max. The smaller Addy Swift has a fatter handle and it's fatter here, but the shaft of the hook is much smaller, and I found that my stitches fell off the hook sometime because it was too small. So anyway, that is the hooks for everyone that's been asking about the hooks that I've been using. So this blanket has got no stitch count. There's no stitch count for it at all. It's a one row repeat. It's only one row and you just keep repeating the row. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a chain. I'm going to do a sample. This is so easy. And this grows so quick. It doesn't matter what yarn that you're using at all. Now, into each stitch, I'm going to do what's called a UK half treble crochet. If you're in the USA, that's a half double crochet. So put your yarn over and I'm going into the second stitch in my chain. Now the noise you can hear in the background is Muttley. He's playing with his toys. So I'm just going to do this into every stitch. It's a UK half treble crochet. If you're in the USA, it's a half double crochet. One into every stitch. So I'm going to do my last half treble crochet into my last stitch. And this is what I've got. Now what we're going to do at the beginning and the end of every row, we're going to do a half treble crochet. So I'm going to chain one and turn, and right into that very first stitch I'm going to do a half treble crochet. Now to get that really deep, now to get this really deep stitch like this, look how deep that is. It's almost doubled over the way it is, and it's so pretty. It is so pretty in any yarn, and it's a nice loose stitch. The bigger the hook you use, the quicker this will work up. So to get that ridge, what we're going to do is every stitch, this is the top of your work. Now you're going to go into this side loop all the time. At the beginning we'll do a half treble crochet, at the end we'll do a half treble crochet, but every stitch is going to be this side stitch, not the top loop. We're not going through the top like this, no, you're going through this little side stitch. What it's going to do is it's going to force this to the other side of your crochet, and you'll be crocheting along these lines here. You'll be crocheting along there, and what it does, you can see here, that's the top of my crochet. It pushes that part over like this. It pushes it to the other side when you're crocheting, and when you're crocheting this way, so if I do this row, it's going to push the top of my crochet that way. It almost folds over like that, and that's what it's doing and making this really nice rib. It makes a beautiful rib like this, and it's a nice deep stitch. It's beautiful for a blanket. It's beautiful, and it's really quick. So what we're going to do is a half treble crochet, but we're taking the stitch from the side, not the top. We're taking it from that front side stitch, and do your half treble crochet. The next stitch on the side, just hold your work to the side every stitch a half treble crochet into that side stitch, and what it does, it's pushing that top part there of your blanket to that side and making that nice ridge. If you're looking for a quick blanket to make, a quick gift, try this in a pastel baby colour. It'll crochet really quickly if you use chunky yarn, or even super chunky, and a big hook. Now I know I've got quite a smallish hook for this, but I want to show you this sample, what it's like with a smaller hook. It's just as nice, and it's a nice compact stitch if you use a smaller hook. If you want it a lot lighter and airier, then you'll use a bigger hook. I'm just going to do one half treble crochet. If you're in the USA, that's a half double crochet. So what it's doing, it's pulling that side stitch up. Now I'm at the end. I'm not going to go through the stitch. I'm going through the hole that's here. You're going in the hole. Don't go through the top of the stitch. You're going to put one half treble crochet into that last stitch, chain one and turn, and look what it's done. That is so pretty already. It's quite a sort of stretchy stitch as well, so when you do your chain, make sure you don't do your chain too tight, and look at that, it really makes that stand up. Now this side is just flat for now, so when we do this row, it'll push the top of this stitch to that other side. So we're going to do right into the very first stitch. We've done our chain one. We're going to do our half treble crochet. That keeps the edge of your blanket nice and straight. Now we're not going into the top loops of the stitches. We're going into that side one. So yarn over and catch that side stitch, front side stitch, and do your half treble crochets. Or if you're in the USA, this is a half double crochet on that front side stitch. So the stitch, that's the top of your work. We're working along the side, along this side here, and it makes a really nice deep ridge in your blanket. It's lovely for scrap. It's lovely for scarves and hats as well. It's so simple. This is it. This is the stitch. That's what you're going to repeat until your blanket's as big as you want it. And for a border, you can just do a simple treble crochet all around the blanket for a border. That's through my last stitch. So I'm at the end, and I'm going into the hole, not through the top of the stitches. I'm actually going into that space to do my last double treble, chain one and turn, and this is what it's done. Look at that. You've got that nice ridge on that side, and then again on that side. You'll just repeat the process, and that's it. So simple. Absolute beginners are going to love this. So I've done my chain one, put my yarn over and go through that very first stitch and do my half treble crochet, yarn over and slip up that side. There's the top of my work there. I'm going into these little side stitches all the way along, and you'll just keep repeating that. And I'm going to show you it's just as nice done with a smaller hook. You can use any kind of yarn you like. You can experiment with hook sizes. I'll show you something in just a moment. So I'm just taking up that side stitch, pull through all my loops, yarn over, through the side stitch and through the loops. We're not taking it from the top, it's from the side. And my very last stitch right into the end, keep my edge straight. I've done a few more rows and look what it looks like. It's really quick and it's really easy and it's really pretty as well. It's really pretty. It's a nice deep, you can see there how deep that goes. And if you're looking for a really quick baby blanket, even if you're a beginner, you can do this stitch and you'll get a really beautiful blanket. Now I've showed you in this yarn and a smaller hook just to show you can use any yarn and any size hook you want and you'll get a big difference in doing a nice sort of thick maybe TV blanket to wrap yourself up in with this yarn. This is an Aran weight but it's only a 4mm hook and my big blanket, I'll zoom back down. And my big blanket, I've got my yarn all mixed up here. I've still got a few rows to do on this and I'll do that. I'll make my stitch bigger. I don't want to lose it. So I'll get another few more rows out of this. And this blanket is, so far I've got 38 rows. I've got 38 rows so far. So I might have enough to get me up to 40 rows. I've got one, two, so I've got 70 stitches on my blanket. Now, a lot of people have told me that this yarn is quite scratchy. It's not the softest yarn, but if you put this into a sink, once you've made your garment, if you put it into the sink with some warm water and some fabric softener in it, it'll go really, really soft. Believe me, it does go really, really soft. So I'm going to do a few more rows on my blanket. I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28. Yep, I've got 38 rows done. I'm going to do another 2 rows to take me to 40 and I'll come and I'll show you how I did the border on this blanket. So I'm going to put a border on my square and what I've decided to do is I'm just going to do a fan. I'll do a fan evenly along my blanket but I'm going to start down here a little bit so that I've still got the room to go around my corner. So I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. So into that same space, I'm going to put another 4 treble crochets. 1, 2, 3. So my chain's going to count as 1 and I'll need to put another 4 in. I'm going to do 5 altogether. So I'm going to move to the next space and just do a double crochet. I'll skip that little area and move into this next space and I'll put 5 treble crochets. 2, 3, 4 and 5. Down into the next space with a single, along to the next one just above that rib I'm going and I'll put another fan in. So I'm going to put my little coloured fans in all the way along my blanket and all the way around. I'll put 2 in the corner. When I get to here, I'll put 1 here and I'll put another one in this corner and I'll slip stitch it on to there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Space it out evenly. A double crochet, that's a single crochet if you're in the USA, and then put my fan in to the middle of the next one. 3, 4, oops, and 5. And that's what we're going to do. So we'll have a fan in the middle of each section. We'll have a fan, a double crochet, a fan, and a double crochet in a fan. And that's the way we're going to work along this blanket. 2, 3, 4, 5. So into the middle of this section, a double crochet, and into the middle of this section we'll put our 5 treble crochets. And 5. Into the middle of the next section, double crochet, and into the middle of the next section and do our fan. So I'm at the corner of my blanket and I'm just going to do my double crochet, and then right into the corner I'm going to put 7 treble crochets for the fan to get around this corner. Instead of 5, I'm going to do 7. See how that looks. Five, 6, and 7. So that's brought me right around the corner. So I'm going to skip 2 stitches and I'm going to do my double crochet. I'm going to skip another 2 stitches, do a fan, skip 2, double crochet, skip 2 and do a fan, and that should come out just the same as the side has. So skip 2 and put 5 treble crochets in for my fan. Go into that stitch. That's 1, 2, see what it looks like, 3, 4 and 5. Skip 2, 1, 2, double crochet, skip 2, and then we'll do a fan. And we'll have a look and see that's spaced out. That's spaced out quite evenly, the same as this one. So I'm going to continue to do that all the way around. When I get to the corners, I'll put 7 in. I'll put 7 treble crochets in to get me around the corner. And then I'll go back to doing a fan, or a double crochet, a fan, a double crochet, and a fan all the way down this side. And then I'll work my way up this other end. And then I should meet myself at this corner here. And I'll put 7 in to get myself around this corner. I'll do a double crochet and then I'll join on to that fan. So I'll get that done and I'll come back. So this is my finished blanket. What I did was I put the fan all around the edge. Down the side I put, in between these tracks, I put 1 UK double crochet. In between the next one I did a 5 treble crochet fan. If you're in the USA, that's a single crochet and a double crochet fan. Around the corner I did 7 of my treble crochets to get me around the corner, and then I just done my double crochet in a fan all the way around the blanket, and this is what I've got. It's really, really pretty. It's a really pretty stitch. Give this a try. The thicker yarn you use, the faster this will work up. If you use a big 7, 8 or even a 9mm hook, then this blanket is going to crochet so fast. This was done with the Aldi rainbow yarn. It's a So Crafty brand, but it's from Aldi. And if you're in the UK and some of the other countries Aldi sells yarn, look online. If your shop doesn't do it, then go online and keep emailing them, asking them if they will do a craft event. That's what the yarn goes under. It goes under their craft events. Now I used, I would say about 250 grams for this blanket. So I've still got all of this one left and one other one. It's the same as that rainbow yarn. Now a lot of people say that it feels a little scratchy. If you look at mine now, look how soft and flowy it is. If you put it in the sink in some warm water, just warm water that has just a little bit of fabric softener in it, it's going to soften this up. And this one is just so soft now because I gave it a little soak in the fabric softener. I put it in my washing machine and I just spun it, and then I put it on my radiator to dry. I just let it dry on its own. And this is what I've got. It's a beautiful, beautiful blanket. It's quite a big blanket as well. So give it a try. It's easy for beginners as well. Even if you're a complete beginner, you'll be able to do this little deep ridge stitch like this. It's really pretty done with that side stitch. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please just click on that subscribe button. And if you click on that bell icon that's just there, then YouTube will notify you when I put up another tutorial. So until the next time, happy crafting, and I'll see you all again soon. Goodbye.